Name any popular parenting book. Any one. I'll tell you why. It's based on control, even if it sounds loving, gentle, conscious, peaceful, attachment parenting, all based on control. You're in charge and the child must comply. This week, we are talking about how us, big kid trusted advisors, the parents, the teachers, the coaches, are creating aggressive child behavior.
Get over here! Because I said so! Why do I have to keep repeating myself? Mom or Dad, do you ever feel like a broken record? You're listening to Learn to Speak Kid podcast on iTunes with Bonnie and Thomas Liotta, positively transforming families one out-of-control child at a time.
We are Bonnie and
Thomas Liotta.
Yes, and we help parents, teachers, educators, whoever's in charge of children, learn how to guide their behavior and transform defiance into cooperation without meds, therapy, or any type of harsh punishment. Today, we're going to be talking about the evolution of control. We're going to deconstruct gentle parenting so you can know and be aware of what you're really doing as a gentle parent and how authoritative control creates aggression. All right, so let's talk about the evolution of control. If we go back just 100 years ago, there was something called authoritarian parenting. This is where if the child looked at you the wrong way, well, you'd just take them out back behind the house, you'd send them to go get a switch from the forest, and you'd beat them with it. Teachers were allowed to put dunce caps on the kids. They also put like a log on the back of their shoulders, and the kid would have to sit there for hours while we physically tortured them in order to beat the defiance out of them. But then society said, this is wrong. There must be a better way. Do you remember, Tom, being in school when we were in school? Because when the kids didn't behave, we experienced this authoritarian stuff. They'd get sent to the office and get like whacked on their hand with a ruler or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was your experience in school?
Oh, mine was the paddle. I kid you not. They had 2 paddles in the school I went to, one for everybody else and one with my name on it. You see, in Des Moines Elementary, this is in the 70s, that our principal, I kid you not, his name was Charlie Brown. That's our principal.
Really?
He even had the little desk. It looked like Charlie Brown's head and everything with the 3 hairs sticking up on the forehead.
Womp, 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 womp.
That's right. Now, what I want to share here is that when you have a little genius offspring, that's the spirit that cannot be controlled. We talked about it last episode. But when we force it or we want to, what you're doing is you're actually creating or prolonging the inevitable. Because when they would send me to the principal's office for anything, and it was like literally, if not once a week, it was every other day. Well, see, in the 70s, when mom put me in soccer, they used to have these big, giant, square knee pads. And so I just put 2 and 2 together. I'd take those pads in my desk, and when I knew I was going, I'd shove them down the back of my pants. I'd go in there and be like, I'm going to give you the best fake cry, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Wow.
Walk away there, buddy, because I'm still not understanding why I'm here. So this forced control that they think is supposed to work, well, what do they do with the ones that won't comply? And see, that's the game that we're missing.
Yeah, I guess in today's world, we send our kids to a therapeutic school. They're picked up in their bed in the middle of the night, and literally kidnapped, thrown into a van, taken to a school, which this 14-year-old girl who ended up kicking Amy Morrell in the chest and actually causing death. Can you imagine somebody just restraining you and holding you down or beating you? Like, what would be going on inside of your mind? So then society says, oh, this is wrong. There must be a better way. And out came baby and child care in 1946, which was the introduction of what we know today as authoritative parenting, or what we call gentle parenting, okay? Baby and child care, 100% based on theory. Well, you know, the child does something you don't like, so then we've got to do something they don't like, but we don't want to physically hurt them, but let's mess with their heads. Let's teach them what no means. Let's start to redirect instead of teaching them about the lamp or the candle or anything that they might be interested in. Let's control them through some sort of negative punishment that's anything but physical. So what happened is we went from hurting their bodies to hurting their minds. Now, what's the problem, Tom? You've worked with thousands of kids in your after-school program, 140,000 calls at Nintendo where you learn to guide the most, I would say, frustrated teenagers in the world when they're learning to play video games and they just can't make it to the next level. They would call you. Like, how lucky were we that you actually were alive in the Nintendo days, okay? But you tell a story in Chapter 2 of Learn to Speak Kid about the baseball. Can you share? Because kids cannot think abstract, so we put them in a timeout thinking they're learning their lesson. What's really happening?
Well, when we think about abstract, and that's just like take any kid at 5. Can they see what it's like to buy a house, rent a car, or get on an airplane? And the answer is no. But for some reason that we believe that if we can lecture or do something that we see we don't like and do something that they don't like, and somehow they're going to like figure it out. So what does it mean? You got a dad who's doing great. He's given him the little wiffle ball. They give him his little Fred Flintstone red bat, and he's swinging away, and he misses, and the dad lectures, hey, keep your eye on the ball. Now, the kid looks at him and looks back at the ball, looks back at him, not really quite understanding, and then bends over, puts his eye on the ball, and dad goes, no, that's not right. You see, if you could just flip the switch. And it's about showing them what to do versus telling them this right here is something that everybody can do because this game has been around since the beginning of time. It's called monkey see, monkey do. And this right here is what makes the door to the positive side of the whole world. That I'm not saying parenting's missing, all the programs that are out there right now are missing this. But when I introduce it, why is it every disorder gets dissed and falls away where they're still just going on and on and on?
Yes. Like, how many parents are wanting to send their kids to military school today? How many parents are getting calls from the school because they just can't control the child? See, the problem is we went from do it because I said so or you'll get a beating to do it. And here's why you can't have what's important to you, little Timmy. You can't, don't, won't do this. So you can't go to your friends because you didn't do your homework. So what you're saying is they can't see from that what they need to do to actually be able to go to their friend's house. They just see the parent as their enemy, as somebody trying to control them. So we changed the method of control, but not the paradigm. We're still trying, keyword, not doing, to make children comply with what we want. And when your child isn't the person you think they should be, well, then the child's getting punished, and how are they supposed to feel about themselves? So I want to deconstruct gentle parenting. Like, I don't mean to pick on gentle parenting, but we can wrap it up in a pretty little package and a gold bow and call it gentle parenting. But what's happening, and I just can't, I'm sorry to bring this up again, but like Good Inside with Dr. Becky on stage, on podcasts, teaching millions of parents, it's okay to have feelings, little Timmy, but I won't let you hit. Let's just take a break and come sit down over here. Like, it sounds nice and it sounds beautiful. Like, okay, I won't let you hit. Okay, we don't want the kids to hit, so let's say that we all agree with that. But what's really the underlying message? The underlying message, even though we're saying, it's okay to have feelings, but I won't let you do what you're doing, is really just saying underneath their breath, your feelings are wrong. Remember when you said, like, sometimes women will go, oh, I love your hair. Are they extensions?
All right.
Like a backhanded compliment. Like when my mom said, if you just got a job at a corporation, I think you would have done really well. I'm like, Mom, I work with families all over the world. I'm the author of 2 books. You have no idea who I even am. Even at the age of 52, our parents are still doing this to us. Your feelings are wrong. Your reaction is wrong. You need to change to make me comfortable. That's what's really going on with gentle parenting. Do you have any thoughts?
Real simple. If we knew Creating Champions for Life, principle number 1, which is know your role as a parent. The prime directive is to prepare them, what we call as launch out of the nest. And when you put that as the cornerstone, you would never waste any time controlling them. You would be preparing them. And this is what all of the parenting, we are leading the way, showing them that there's another game, there's a new sheriff in town. Because the common side effects are always healing with all this stuff that's going backwards. The next common side effect is uniting, where the two walk together, like all of the animals in the animal kingdom bear offspring. And the third common side effect is empowerment, which means I'm here to prepare you to launch, and we'll have a bond that's so strong for life.
Tom, I know you cannot help yourself, but our next episode is...
Well, we go deeper there.
The next episode is what to do instead of all of this authoritative control. So you got a little preview of our next episode, but I want to talk about this whole conscious parenting thing. Like Dr. Shefali even did an episode with her daughter where she was like, I didn't really practice what I'm teaching because how could you? Because it's an idea that sounds good. I see you have feelings. I'm going to heal my inner child. I am going to be conscious of how I respond or react. Let's breathe together. Let's do this or that. Again, like this sounds beautiful, but who decided it's time to breathe? Who decided the child's response is the problem? And there's the underlying wolf in sheep's clothing right there. Attachment parenting. And these are all just so similar, but this is where you get a little bit of contradicting advice from one parenting style to the next parenting style. Attachment parenting is like close physical connection. Like, I need to be your emotional regulator, little Timmy, because you don't have what it takes to master your emotions. Like, that's such a huge lie. And because I have witness with my own eyes, our 2.5-year-old granddaughter acts like a 6-year-old. She falls down, she gets up, she wipes her knees off, and she's moving on. She knows what she wants. She knows how to ask, you help me, please. And my favorite is, thank you, Grandpa Tom. Thank you, Grandpa Tom. I am telling you what, if you've been told your child isn't capable, I can hear the comments right now. Yeah, but my child has autism. Yeah, but my child has ADHD. Yeah, but my child has ODD. I'm going to tell you, a human being is born absolutely perfect. You were born perfect. Your child was born perfect. None of us were born with any idea of how the world works. When a baby is born, they don't even know how to latch. It's not like we're spiders born with spiderweb 101 making abilities. The baby doesn't know how to latch. What's worse than this is the mother doesn't know that the baby doesn't know how to latch unless somebody takes the time to show her. A mother needs to be shown how to teach the baby how to latch, and the baby must be shown how to latch. And this is why so many babies on day one are being given bottles in the hospital. And right from day one, if you, mom, don't know this, you're going to let the nurse give your baby a bottle in the hospital thinking, I'll feed the baby when I'm done my nap. And then guess what? You don't produce enough milk to feed your baby. And now you need to supplement, and now we're into formula, and this whole cycle begins. That's how powerful this is, what we're talking about. You weren't born knowing how to be a mother. This is why it's so easy to program in the absolute wrong direction. And so if what we're saying here makes sense, if you are attempting all day long to control your little 2-year-old, your 5-year-old, your 14-year-old over my dead body, and it's not working, like when would now be a good time to wake up and make a shift in your approach on a conscious level? All right, because all of these approaches say, be kind, be calm, be understanding, but the child still must do what you want. That's still authoritative control. It's just nice sounding control. We're going to move on, and we're going to talk about how authoritative control creates aggression. When we use subtle control, even gentle control, children can feel it, yes?
Yes. You don't believe I can do it on my own. That's the message that they receive. They won't be able to speak it intellectually. That's the razor's difference.
Oh, but they are speaking it. There are 6-year-olds going, yes. Mommy, I just wish I wasn't even alive. Mommy, I wish I was dead. And I'm going to share that when my oldest son, who's now 27, but when he was 6 and I was tucking him into bed, He said, Mom, I just wish I was dead. And I went to the doctor because where else do we go other than to the doctor? Because we think the pediatrician knows how to raise children. And the doctor goes, oh, he didn't really mean that. He probably saw it on TV or something like that. He's just regurgitating words. And I'm telling you, moms, dads, they mean it. And they do articulate it. But we miss it because we think that they're just kids. Or we think they're make-believe. I'm telling you, kids are human beings just like you. They have thoughts, feelings, wants, and desires just like you. And when the kids start feeling, I'm the problem, I'm broken, I need to be fixed, the result, oppositional defiant disorder, DMDD. I heard the other day, UMD. I'm like, what's that? Unidentified mood disorder, anxiety, depression, all of these behavior and mood disorders that we're putting on our children and we're giving them medication. We are causing it.
You see, Bonnie, I like the idea when you look at this equation. Does results equal no results plus a good story, a.k.a. labels?
No, it just puts the kids into a box of you're broken and I need to fix you and there's no way you can ever control yourself. It's
Correct.
ridiculous.
It violates the prime directive, which is called to prepare. You see, you can either pop a pill or demonstrate the missing life skill. And that's how simple that game is.
Right. Yeah. Why aggressive children are aggressive? They're fighting for autonomy in the only way that they know how.
Do you remember the first time you were on the phone and you kept wondering why the kids would bug you, but as soon as you got off the phone, they left you alone?
Yeah.
And that's how simple it is. When you can see, they see the phone as an attack on their life force called attention.
Let's just talk about, so why aggressive children are aggressive. Number one, they're fighting for autonomy in the only way that they know how. They're literally reacting to years of being controlled, even if it is in a gentle and kind way, which we all know it's not, because being kind and gentle only lasts so far. And then when the kids don't do what you want to do, what do? We revert back to old habits. So let's just look in the mirror and admit that. But the child, the 14-year-old who kicked Amy Morrell, she was literally just saying, and they're all saying, she's just an example of what's about to happen on a massive scale if we don't get this. She's saying, I exist, I matter, stop making me disappear.
Right.
All right. And so in our next episode, we're going to talk about, so what do we do instead? It's not about giving up authority. It's about teaching instead of controlling. The solution isn't another parenting technique. It's a completely new paradigm.
One final thought, Bonnie. What if all this misbehavior was this, and they're just asking these very simple question? Mom, Dad, can I be like you? Can I do what you do? Could I one day do what you do all by myself without you?
So until we meet again, here's to our parenting success.
Cheers. Bye for now.
Hey, Mom, are you seeking help with your child's challenging behavior? Are you ready for cooperation and fun? Millions of families are living in chaos and overwhelm, and I promise there is a better way. I'm Bonnie Liotta, co-founder of Creating Champions for Life, where we help families transform defiant behavior into healthy, happy, cooperative kids. Let us help you begin a new, empowering, and joyful parenting journey at learntospeakkid.com so you can enjoy your children and have more fun as a mom.